Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Nerd Rant. I'm Dr. Zombie, also known as Seth, with my co-host Junior Wolf, also known as JJ.
Cool, bro. Does your mic work this time?
Yes, it is.
Did you get
it's
it right?
I put the right microphone on.
Yeah, I'm gonna ouch you. He put the wrong microphone and did the whole intro and everything, and then realized,
I didn't put the wrong microphone. It just didn't pick it up, and it's like 2 seconds. Because I speak fast.
It was definitely longer than 2 seconds.
I don't know about that.
Anyways.
Anyway, we're going to be doing a different type of episode today. We are not doing Fortnite. We are not doing some mainstream game like Minecraft or something. We're going to be doing something a little bit smaller, but something both me and JJ have seen. You didn't play it, right?
No, but I've seen every nook and cranny of it, so...
Yes. But I mean, playing it's a little different, like going through it.
I guess so.
Even though I've already watched all of MatPat, I'm definitely going to be buying it once I get a device that can run it.
Yeah, because there is that one unfound thing.
Of course, from the looks of it, it's not going to be able to be found. But what we're talking about is...
Amanda the Adventurer!
A.k.a. Dora the Explorer.
Not exactly, fam.
First off, spoilers ahead. Major spoilers. We're going to be talking about all lore, all endings. Not all, but we're going to be covering a lot of that kind of stuff. So if you actually want to go play it...
If you don't know what this game is, I don't want to tell you much about it. It's a horror game based on old, educational kids cartoons like Dora the Explorer. I very much encourage you to go play it if you like puzzle games, if you like horror games. Very much go play it. It is $9 on Steam. It's cheap.
It's not expensive. It's just my computer's crap.
Yeah, it's like a 2 or 3 hour experience. There's a free demo too that gives a good idea of the game. I very much recommend you go play it.
Oh, is the demo still available?
Yeah, you can play the free demo.
Oh, I should try that. Okay. And if it works, then I probably can buy the game.
Yeah.
But that's not what we're talking about right now. We are going to talk about the lore, the endings. The one thing I wanted to start this episode off on is I want to ask you, what would you classify this as? Would you classify this as a horror game? Is that like what Amanda the Adventurer is?
It is. It's an analog horror game.
Analog horror game.
Yeah.
Because you know more about the genres. I know multiplayer and single player. That's about it. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Bro.
There's also FPS games. That's it. That's all that exists.
Yeah, it's like analog horror, psychological horror kind of thing.
Yeah. Which, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
And it's creepy.
It does it really well, surprisingly. Like, this game this game does not have great graphics or anything along those lines. It's not a AAA game. It is literally one guy and maybe some people he got to help him along the way.
I mean, it started off with one of those game contests where you make a game in 24 hours. That's where, the first version of it came from. And then he updated it slowly. And then he added this whole with the demo, right? Was that the first open world version?
Yeah.
Apart from the... So he made the demo, and that released, and what it reminds me a lot of is Hello Neighbor, right? I think that's the closest thing. Like when you play, you open up and you hold things and physics and everything.
You associate that with Hello Neighbor?
I mean, a popular game that a lot of people know. What other game would you classify that whole open world with the physics and everything and the way it looks?
Literally any first-person game where you pick things up.
Well, that sucks, because that's really bad physics. And the way it looks, though. Most games don't look like that.
Anyways.
Anyway, that's what reminds me of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool, bro. There's no cardboard box stacking, though.
No, there's not.
Luckily.
I don't know if that's a good or bad thing.
It's a very good thing. That was torture. But yeah, it's very intriguing. There's a lot of hidden stuff in it. If you play it through not looking at every detail, you're not gonna understand what the heck's happening. It's one of those games where you have to be... It's just one of those
you kind of go through, and it's oh, monster. Oh, no monster. Okay.
Yeah, it's one of those where you have to be looking at every detail and trying to solve every little puzzle in order to actually understand what the heck the game is about. Because otherwise you're going to look at it uh-oh, cartoon girl get glitchy and angry.
Yeah, pretty much. That's a good summary of Amanda the Adventurer. Anyway, I think that's enough that we have to talk about. That's pretty much what the game is, right?
Yeah, that's about it.
No, we gotta talk about the lore.
The lore.
We both watched the Matt Pat Let's Plays.
Yeah. Love Matt Pat.
He's interesting. He's an interesting individual. Yeah, there's a lot of lore and a lot of secret endings. Which do we want to talk about that stuff, or do we want to talk about some of the gameplay mechanics first?
Let's start with the gameplay.
So I love the tapes. Not the normal tapes, the secret colorful ones, like the secret endings when you complete stuff. I absolutely love that. The way they go about doing it as well. I think that's fantastic.
Yeah?
Yes. It's just, it adds a lot. And you really have to solve more so than the puzzles. I'm trying to remember all of them, because we were planning on doing this last week, and then it didn't go well, so I haven't watched it since last week. But I remember the one which you had to put salmon instead of rooster. And I just love that. Like, you really have to look. It's the only place that we really see that first is that newspaper clipping, right? Which is the developer of Amanda the Adventurer, the real IRL version. And he's doing this for his daughter. And we put his name instead of Rooster. What's a daddy rooster? Well, how do you know that name? Says Amanda. And it gets really dark. And then it throws a tape out of somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't know where.
Yeah, no, I like how it integrated the... Like, a lot of them were titled as episodes. Some of them titled as, like, what you would typically write on a VHS tape that you, like, recorded over. But I like how they integrated the classic, like, analog horror stuff in there. Like, if any of you know Mandela Catalog, it's all, like, camera footage. Most of it, at least, is, like, camera footage recorded very low quality, but it's kind of like a at-home video kind of thing, which is exactly what they did with some of these tapes. They took it and they literally just recorded, like, ooh, this kid is watching Amanda the Adventurer on her TV, and then, poof, she gone.
But she also don't be listening to her parents. She's a bad girl. But we'll get in that a little bit later. So, I absolutely love the way they go about the tapes and the fact that they have a little collectible. I don't know, you might be able to answer this. How many games have things like the stickers where it's like you play through multiple times and they have some kind of trophy thing?
A lot of games will have that,
Duck Season has the trophies that you can have.
Yeah, if it's a game with multiple endings, there's usually some sort of indicator which endings you have and haven't gotten.
How many games have hidden ones? Because there was only 3, right? And then there was one hidden bad ending and one hidden good ending.
The thing is, a lot of games won't tell you how many endings there are up front. Like, it won't, like, in Amanda, you can see on the TV, like, ooh, there's a spot here for a sticker, or, like, it looks like a sticker was thrown off here.
Yeah, there was 3. There's 2 on the left, 1 on the right.
Yeah.
But then that wasn't all of them. There was one hidden bad one in the middle, one hidden right.
A lot of games just won't tell you how many there are at all. Like, it won't show you, like, there's this many spots. It'll just be like, okay, have fun getting your endings, and you get a sticker or something for each one, saying,
of
okay,
course,
you've got this ending.
Normally there's achievements, which kind of tell you, hey, there's something.
Yeah.
Which I think, didn't Matt Pat say that there's, like, something about the achievements for the endings?
There probably is.
I forget. Probably. But yeah, so there's the endings. How'd you feel about the puzzles?
Personally, I think the puzzles were genius. Like, they were so well done.
Yeah.
Having to integrate things from all the different tapes and some clues even being used multiple times, it made it so that, like, if you've ever done an escape room, I haven't done an escape room, so I don't know where this is coming from, but escape rooms usually are like, you have this tool and you use it once on the thing it's meant to be used for, and then that's done. You don't need that thing anymore. This was like an escape room, but you never forget about a piece of the puzzle because it's going to come into play later. The oven was used like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, use the doll like 4 times.
Yeah, it's like every piece was used multiple times for all these different puzzles to get you different results, which I really liked. That way it wasn't like, okay, I no longer have to worry about this side of the room because I've already used everything over here. You always have to go searching and looking for things.
Every little thing. I mean, look at how many times the fruit was important.
Yep.
A lot of times. Especially that peach.
That peach, though.
I'm slowly drinking raspberry lemonade because it's very hot.
Why would you drink hot raspberry lemonade?
Because I'm built different. Not in a good way sometimes.
Dang, bro.
That's intense.
I imagine that wouldn't taste good.
Yeah. Anyway, puzzles. How'd you feel about the puzzles?
Which ones?
Exactly, all of them. What was your favorite puzzle? Or I guess I shouldn't just say puzzle, because some of the puzzles were different, right? Like we had the oven, which when you go through normally, you have to make an apple pie, and if you do something weird, like set it on fire, you have a meat pie.
Yeah.
Which completely changes the whole thing.
Yeah.
So what was your favorite event? Whether that be the clock, this,
I think
that.
it was probably, what's his name? The robot.
Oh, the robot was fun.
Yeah,
Bebop, something like that.
Yeah, whatever, something like that. But I liked him because not only did they didn't have to, but they decided we're gonna give him character and personality. Which
that was dark.
It was. They made it so terrible.
Don't do this.
If you don't know, once again, spoilers, but at some point you have to splash water on him and kill him to make his head pop off. And as you are holding the bucket of water in front of him, he starts pleading for his life. He's like, please, no, I want to live. I can help you. What will it take? Like, it's genuinely tragic.
I can show you all the hidden codes and number combinations.
Yeah, it's like
it's intense.
It is.
And it's a freaking little robot toy thing. Like, what?
But there are so many different things you could enter in.
Every part about it, every single part about, not that, but like the entire game, every single part about it has multiple things that it does.
Yeah. Yeah.
And with the water, right? Like the water, you go over there, the water's slowly dripping. There's mushrooms right there. Well, the mushrooms can be made for the meat pie, but it can also, you have to count the number for a combination. Or not a combination. Was it the robot or was it a combination? You had to count the number of mushrooms.
I think it was for
lights,
the
chairs,
cupboard to get the bucket.
The cupboard. But then once you use the mushrooms, which again, right, there's multiple answers, you have a little puddle that's slowly dripping. You can either put the bucket there to fill it up, or you can put the different flower pots, and you can figure out the flower pots by grabbing a hidden piece of a paper, like a newspaper article, and not a newspaper article, just a hidden piece of paper really early on after like the first safe, I think, right? Probably the first or second thing that you open up. And now it has all these symbols and colors next to it, except one's potato.
Yeah.
Pat was very confused by the potato at first. He's like, pink, orange, potato. It was great. But then you put the pots with the symbols underneath and it grows. Or that grows into a yellow flower, which then you put on the doll to do something else, or you grow potato for something else.
Yep.
It's great.
It was fantastic.
I think my favorite would probably be the whole corrupted neighborhood tape with the candy store and meat store, and then going into the drawing book.
Yeah?
I think that was my favorite.
That drawing book was pretty cool.
It was cool. Pat took forever because he was overthinking it.
Welcome to being a theorist. You overthink everything.
You just need to do the same combination 4 times in a row. There is not a different combination. You do not go into the meat store the first time when everything's meat. It is the same thing, Pat. Calm down. Everything else I kind of understood. That part just like, bro, just do the same combination.
Yeah.
I think he spent like 10 minutes on that. But anyway, I think that was probably my favorite puzzle corrupted version, whatever.
Yeah. Honestly, a lot of the tapes had such unsettling parts. Like, even the ones that weren't, like...
The corrupt version.
Yeah. Like, the one with
like
Wooly in the
rots?
park.
Oh, Wooly in the park?
Yeah.
With little accidents? Where accidents happen?
Yeah. It's like,
that was,
looks like Wooly tripped and fell. I didn't trip and fall. It's like, okay. And also, it was a very strange but effective detail that they actually did have blood on his knee. This is a children's cartoon. And they put blood.
Yeah.
Like, okay. That's
You
kind of
also notice
unsettling.
the clouds in those, like everything rots, and that one, like the entire atmosphere is just darker. Like it's grayer clouds and everything.
Yeah, it was very effective design in a lot of these.
It was a little too effective.
Yeah.
It was a little real creepy. What was your least favorite tape? Not the secret tapes, the normal tapes. Your least favorite.
Honestly, probably the kitchen one. I feel like because that one was the first, it had the least Easter eggs in it, especially the one after the demo, because the demo version actually had a
the
code on the
numbers.
fridge.
Which, did anyone ever figure that out?
Yeah, Matt figured it out when he played the demo.
No, he figured it out, but he didn't do anything with it. He told everyone to do something with it. I watched that one too.
Yeah,
he did figure out what it. He thought it meant.
I don't think it had anything, and I don't think you did with it.
It was just turn on the oven or something like that. Or no, it said pause or something like that, and then turn on oven. That's what it said. And that didn't really mean anything. You just normally
I thought
do
he
that.
did that in the first episode of the full game.
No, because it was a different code.
Well, no, the code wasn't there in the full game. Like, there was no code.
Is that what that meant in the full game, or is there some? I figured there would be something else.
I mean, you can only
somebody
do
just
that
figured
in the
out.
full game. Like, you can only pause it in the full game. So I'm assuming he ended up. I think that I remember him trying
be
that.
He did do something with it. That was when you had to set it on fire. But I don't know. I didn't know if there was something before the full game came out that you had to do.
No,
or
I
if
don't.
that
I
was-
don't think you
well,
could
that
do
was
anything
just
with it in the
full
demo.
game thing. That was just the full game, like teaser or hint.
But that was like one of the only things in that first tape that was like out of the ordinary, really. And then to take it
don't
out
forget,
was like,
when you put your favorite pie, if you put mutton or lamb pie, Wooly gets very nervous.
Yeah.
There's a little Easter egg too, which is really cool, and I want to know if there's any other random secret words that you put in, because I saw somebody put like salmon for every single possible.
Yeah.
But Sam's just one. Did he try? We did Wooly. Did we ever try Riley? For all of them?
I don't
I know he
if
said
they
he
ended up
wanted to in
trying
the last
Riley.
one, but I don't think he ever did.
Yeah. It's just one of those things that's like, oh, you can go and try it yourself, I guess.
Yeah.
Because, like, with open-ended stuff like this, where you can literally enter anything as long as it meets the, like, letter number criteria, you could enter so many different things. It goes the same with the robot as well. Like, there's so many number combinations you could put in there, and as long as it's relevant to the series in some way, it's valid to try it.
Yeah. Which is a great type of game style, where it's not just single playthrough, or not just, we're going to give you everything. You really have to hunt.
Yeah, I really like when they hide things, like, without implying that you should put it in there. Like, if it's literally just a number that is relevant to the story, like, it could be, like, Amanda's birthday, like, entering that into the robot. You would have had no inclination to do that at all, but it gets you something for it.
Imagine there was a secret number in each of the 5 or maybe 6 tapes, and when you combine all 6 tapes into the robot, you get another message.
That'd be cool.
That'd be awesome.
That'd be cool.
It's totally plausible, because we don't have the 6th one, and maybe once you unlock the 6th one, then you have to go back and watch the other ones again. Like, that totally sounds like something that the game would do.
Yeah.
Just have to wait and see.
Yep.
Patience.
Nobody knows how to get the Adventurer 2. Let's go. Let's go.
Let's go!
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, I don't know. I think my least favorite one is the first neighborhood. I like the corrupt neighborhood.
Yeah?
Yeah. The first neighborhood. Because it was kind of just like, huh. Except when Amanda yells. That was kind of creepy.
Yeah?
Is he? Hey. Is there any other gameplay? What other gameplay mechanics was there? There was... I mean, you kind of clicked on stuff, but that's not really anything special.
Yeah.
We had the inputs, the puzzles, lots of puzzles. Some of them changed too, depending on the tape that you use. Like the one safe you couldn't do after a certain tape. You had to figure it out, and then when you restart, or I forget if, because everyone kind of forgot about this safe. Everyone just did the safe at the beginning. I don't know if you do another tape after that one, it goes back to normal. But it's also cool that you have to remember that because it can change each time. Like now with the doll, right? You cut off its head, but now you have to go back and put the flower on. Like you have to do multiple things in different playthroughs. Honestly, like MatPat and DanTDM probably went through at least a dozen playthroughs just for one ending, just for how many times you have to figure stuff out.
Yeah. Oh, and
which is apparently, a different way.
It's worth mentioning that the tapes, like pre-demo even, that we got from like the Game Jolt versions and whatnot, are actually canon. Like those are still relevant to the story.
Yeah. I figured.
Yeah.
I just figured this is like a deeper version.
Which it's interesting that they chose to not include those in the full game, honestly. Because then there's almost 3 separate versions of the game that you'd end up having to play in order to understand the full story.
That is kind of weird, but it's also like with the full game, how they would just have to incorporate those, and the way they play and look, it'd be different. So you would have to redo do some kind of prequel before you get to the full game in the full game. You know what I mean? Like it'd be kind of hard to incorporate those into the full game, because the full game, every single tape you do something normally outside, so they would have to completely redo those ones. But they still have lore and everything, so they don't want to be like, okay, you forget about them. So I feel like just saying they're the same world type thing is probably the easiest way.
Yeah. Honestly, I really like the human interactions that they had on some of the tapes. Like, the one weird coffee show thing. Like, it was...
that was... I felt like there was some secret tension there or something.
Yeah! I couldn't tell if it was just the fact that they were both kind of bad at acting and it sounded like they were reading from a script, or if that was intentional and it was meant to, like, set a mood or, like, a vibe. Honestly, hard to tell.
Yeah, it's hard to tell, and I think that's kind of the point. This is one reason why MatPat is hilarious and why it's worth watching, even though he has the moments where he spends 10 minutes on a simple one solution puzzle.
There.
The one where we listen to the girl, right? This is one of the secret tapes, too. We listen to, what is it? Not Riley. Amanda? Is it Amanda?
Rebecca.
No, it's not Amanda. Rebecca. And she's listing off some phrases, some really weird and questionable phrases. And MatPat's like, that reminds me of something. I think that's a demon name.
Yep. And then, alas, Ash looks it up.
All of them are demons.
They're all demons, all from like the same
Book of Solomon or something like that. And it's just like, I know for a fact anyone else I would have watched, DanTDM, Think Noodles, Markiplier, like anyone you would watch would not know that.
I had a thought
that he
like,
didn't
you know
try.
What?
I'm not caught up on my demon lore. I'm like, what are you talking about?
When Ash was reading out the demons, she had said that they were like, oh, the 3rd demon mention, oh, like the 7th demon mention. I had the thought, what if you took those numbers and in the order that she recited them, plugged them into the robot and see what that gets you?
That could be.
That could be. It could also be completely
nothing.
Random.
Nothing.
Like
nothing.
Just nothing. But, you know, who knows? Go try it.
See, with stuff like that, I wonder, do you think that's the 6th tape?
Bruh. Imagine.
The 6th tape that you have to know your demon lore. Where would you possibly start? Where would you guess that? What normal, sane person would guess?
First of all, he's not
names.
Normal or sane. Second of all,
that's what I'm saying.
The amount of
person
crap
like
he has had to research in order to know what the heck the names of demons are off the top of his head from hearing
No, I'm not
words.
I'm not talking about him. I'm saying, like, if we didn't watch him, we would have never known that. What normal person would you have watched? Or why would they put that in there? Because how many of the people who are not MatPat would figure out that those are demon names of the Book of Solomon?
Somebody who really liked demons? Oh, man.
Which, like, if it was Fortnite, we would have totally thrown that out the door and forgot about it, because that makes way too much sense. But this isn't Fortnite. This is an Epic game. So there is very much a plausibility that that is something.
Yeah.
Do you want to get into, like, the lore with, like, the hidden tapes and the demons and stuff like that?
I mean, sure. Where do we start?
Is there any other gameplay mechanics we want to talk about first? We talked about the tapes. We talked about the inputs. Clicking isn't really anything special.
I mean, it makes you do some
Endings,
very uncomfortable
gameplay.
things, like chopping off the doll's head.
Absolutely.
Like,
Yeah.
this scream, too.
There are so many moments. You have to catch a rat in a mousetrap, and you can't catch it unless you look away.
Yeah.
Which makes sense, because if it's a girl, right, you don't want the little girl isn't going to want to look at the rat gets killed.
Yeah. There's so many unsettling moments. Oh, and I'm not sure if you made this connection. You know the one tape where the girl is watching, right? They're trying to call her for ice cream, and she was watching the show. The doll is actually in that tape.
Oh.
It's a larger version, but it is sitting there in the room.
Oh, that's creepy.
Yeah. So people are like, is the little girl in the doll?
Was the doll there before or after the girl went missing?
Both. The doll was sitting in the room the entire time.
The entire time. So it's probably not the girl. So here's two possibilities that I'm thinking of right off the bat. One, it can be Amanda having like a tool to like entrap the people, like, kind of manipulate them. Or two, what if it is a girl that has been trapped before? Because obviously we talked about throughout the entire game, this happened before. This isn't new. So what if it's a girl that's been trapped, but isn't fully trapped like in the game or in the show, and is trying to save other kids? Okay.
I can see it.
That's what I'm thinking right off the bat. Like, first thing I'm thinking, if the girl's in both, not playthroughs, both instances.
Yeah, but my thought was, if the doll was there while she was watching, that then draws a connection between her and the doll. And if we know that for a fact the doll is sentient, what if we have like a FNAF situation where her spirit is in the doll or something like that? Then that adds a whole new weight to cutting off the doll's head. You're essentially killing a child.
Oh my. That's dark.
Yeah.
It's oh boy.
I mean, the doll has a little girl's voice.
It's kind of creepy.
Yeah.
Why? What is it with little girls in movies? Why are they so scary?
I don't know, bro.
But anyway, lore. There's a lot of lore. Some we understand, some we don't understand. Like demons. What do the demons mean?
Don't even know,
Actually,
bro.
you know what? If you want to start, I want to look this up. I'm going to look up, what is it? The Book of Solomon Demons.
Oh, boy. Here, let me go.
You talk
let me
about
go
other
to the
stuff.
lore tab of the wiki here.
This is not something I'd be expecting to Google on my computer. What are the demons of the Book of Solomon?
Your parents are going to look at your search history and be like, what in the actual flop doodle are you looking at?
Okay. So which demons were they? I see Baal, which is 1.
I don't even know.
And then I remember 7, I think. Come on.
Amanda is right.
Oh, Paimon, 9. It's 1, 7, 9, I believe.
Yeah?
I believe that's what the ones were.
Baal, Paimon, and Balaam.
Yeah. It's a lot. It's creepy.
Yeah.
Anyway.
The question is then, why are they having her recite these?
So there was also, which I don't know, I don't remember, or if this got answered. Was she actually having headphones on, or is that a whole metaphor for like the demon, like, you know, the main demon like speaking into her head or something?
I don't know.
The guy in the headphones.
My guess is she actually was wearing
confusing.
headphones she was being told what to say. And then they told her to say something, and she didn't like that.
What if it's like the main demon? Like, we have the 72 demons. What if it's, like, this demon 0 or something?
I don't know.
She's scared. She doesn't want to be summoning no demons.
Yeah. Instincts can be helpful.
This whole part is just like, we can't know, because we don't even know what the main demons mean, because we're not demon lore experts.
Yeah.
But, so there's something about that, and this all starts from, what is this, like, voice acting lessons or something like that, or, not voice acting, wasn't it, like, for the technology, I guess, for the animated show? Is that what it was going for?
I'm guessing.
So, I guess we should probably start with like a quick summary of Amanda the Adventure and like the main lore. We have the guy Sam, who has an adoptive daughter who he wanted to teach her some lessons. So he made Amanda the Adventurer with, I'm guessing, Rebecca. Was it Rebecca the main? Was it Rebecca Amanda?
Yeah.
Or is it? Yeah. So he had his daughter be the main person in these stories with Wooly, and they went on adventures kind of like Dora the Explorer, learning about the world, etc., etc. And it's all great. And then there's an animated show. Also, the show, this is like a small town, so like everyone in the town knows about the show. And then there's an animated version that's getting made, and that's the one that we know from the game. And Sam disappears.
Yep, he just went poof. He go bye-bye.
Yep.
Yep.
So that's really like the main lore, but then there's other lores behind what the game is, the animated version, or show, not really game. Of course, I don't know about you. I don't know what VHS you have inputs with a keyboard, but we're not going to question that part.
Yeah.
That's really the general stuff. Is there any other like main points you want to make before we get into like the secret tapes and
the only other
the
thing
characters
is
are?
the company. What was it called? Hamlin?
Hamlin, yeah.
Yeah, the company that basically helped fund the Amanda the Adventure show, Hamlin, is what we assume to be the malicious intent here somehow. And if you don't know, Hamlin is actually the tail of the Pied Piper, basically. Like, you didn't give me what I asked for, what we agreed to. I'm going to use this power that I have over the children and essentially lead them to their deaths.
Uh-oh.
Karma.
Mass children genocide.
Yay.
that section is going to get clipped, and we're both going to get canceled.
Bro, I might clip that myself. That's great.
No! That's not helping your case.
Mass children genocide.
Yeah. Now we both can get canceled. You happy?
Totally.
Anyway. Do you want to... what type of lore bit do you want to talk about first? Do you want to talk about some of the tapes and who the people are and the disappearances, or do you want, like, the Pied Piper? Do you want to talk about who Amanda is?
Here's the thing.
Wooly.
Amanda has a connection to a person in the real world. Wooly does not, which honestly intrigues me because all through the pre-demo, the Game Jolt version, that's what I'm going to call it for now, we had like this idea that, yes, Amanda and Wooly are like siblings. Like, Wooly is the brother somehow here. That's kind of the idea we had going in. And we were pretty much sure, like, once just before the demo came out, that like, okay, so they are related somehow. They are both characters that somehow got stuck in this world. And then the demo comes out and it's like, okay, so Amanda has a parallel, Wooly does not. But we can very clearly tell Wooly's not just like a product of this show. He's not just something to come out of the show. He also has a personality. He is self-aware. He breaks the fourth wall, but he's not evil.
What if that's Sam? What if that's where he disappeared? What if Sam is in there because that's like his daughter, right? That's what Amanda is, like his daughter. And he's in there because he wants to protect his daughter, but he also doesn't want his daughter to hurt people. That's why he tries to get us away.
My only thing is, Amanda's voice is identical to Rebecca's voice. And when we hear Sam's voice in the one tape where he's like talking with the demons and whatnot, it's not identical to Wooly's voice. Wooly's voice is different than Sam's voice.
I'm just trying to think of characters that we know are also gone. Because the reasons, another thing with Sam, he disappeared. We don't know where Sam went. So it completely makes sense if he disappeared into the game, right? Like, that's where he went.
Yeah.
I don't know who else would be gone in the game. Lost his Aunt Katie. Oh, no, just kidding. It's not Aunt Kate. It's not Kate.
Sigh.
She dead. Yeah, that's my only thought of who the real life person of Wooly is. Unless, what if it is like Sam's programming or something in the show to, like, again, like, same premise, like, protect but doesn't want other people to get hurt.
Yeah.
Because Sam is like the only character I can see that would know what's going on, unless...
Here's the other thing. There are some, like, random lines that Wooly says along the way. One of them being something like, my mom usually holds my lunch money or, like, my treat money or something like that, implying that he has a mother, and that mother is still relevant somehow. And I don't think, like, Sam doesn't have a mother here. Sam's mother is not relevant in any way. So that's another thing kind of breaking that parallel.
So we also know that he doesn't like his family. He's scared of his family. Something like that. With the whole family episode on the farm, which is really weird for that to be the family equivalent. What if Wooly is a kid? What if he's a trapped kid, and what if the original Wooly isn't this Wooly? Not from, like, the Game Jolt version, but, like, when the show first came out, that was a Wooly, and now we have this one, and he's hurt. And that's why he doesn't like his family, because his family's gone or something, and his mom held his lunch money because he was a kid going to school and then got trapped in the game. Or show, whatever it's called.
I mean, I guess so, but then we're ignoring, like, the implications that he's related to Amanda. Like, along the way, there are multiple lines and things pointing toward the fact that he is in somehow related to Amanda, whether it be cousin, whether it be brother. People were mainly thinking brother, but it implies that he is related to Amanda. Now, then again, we never have anything saying that Amanda has a brother at all. The only thing we have is Amanda is technically adopted. So it's possible Sam could have a son. Like, it's not out of the picture.
So what if it is a kid, but what if it is her biological parents' son?
But then we're introducing, like, so many new characters that aren't connected in any way yet.
Do you have anything else? I'm just trying to list stuff off and making the connections. I have no idea what in-person, like, IRL person this could possibly be. That's, like, the only thing I can think of. It's either Sam or it's another kid that was taken in the game. Because I don't know anyone else that would be.
I feel like we're missing something. Like there's a piece that we just don't have yet.
Wasn't something about Wooly in the 6th tape?
Like what?
I don't remember, but I think the 6th tape dealt with Wooly.
What was the 6th tape?
We don't know the 6th tape.
Oh, the hidden one.
That's what I'm saying.
They had him, like sitting in a chair or something.
So what if in that tape we learned something about Wooly, which that answers that?
I mean, it's possible, but from the sounds of it,
that's the only thing
it was literally just him sitting in the chair. Like, that's what Ash had said on the GT Live. Like, they found it and it was just him there in a black room in a chair. I don't think he said anything.
But that's also, like, from the files and stuff. So what if when it actually comes out and we get an update or something like that? What if it's added?
You think we're going to get an update?
Or Amanda 2.
Oh. Dun, dun, dun. I have no doubt that they're going to make more of this. Because, like...
something. Whether that be Amanda 2, or what if it's a spinoff? What if it's Wooly and Friends? Or, like, you know, a whole other show from a different town. Yeah. And, okay. Hear me out. What if each of the characters is a demon of the 72, and we go to different towns which are other demons? And Solomon is leading all of it.
Or we have the connecting thread of Hamlin being, like, in all of these different, like, kids
towns.
Things. Like, what if Hamlin isn't just Amanda the Adventurer? What if Hamlin also has other like properties and IPs under their belt? And all of these things are being used.
We're about to get real meta. What if Hamlin is supposed to be like Disney? Corrupt, broken.
Huh? I don't think they'd go quite that far. Because that's a very, very direct parallel. I think it might be like a meta commentary on the state of companies and how they are corrupt. I don't think they're going to explicitly call out a specific one.
I think, I'm not saying specifically Disney, but what if it is like one of those major studios?
Yeah, I think
just
it might
Don't
be
Hug Me, I'm
commentary
Scared,
on it,
where it's just Hamlin is this major corporation that makes kid shows and has kid toys and has Hamlin World. But it's bad.
Yeah, I think that's possible. I think that's honestly the easiest way to expand on this franchise is just have Hamlin be the connecting thread between them all and have that be like the overarching enemy. It's like, sure, Amanda's story is, I guess, complete. Like, there is more that we could clarify and more that we could link together. But I think
there's definitely more we can clarify because we never got out, did we? The happy endings aren't very happy.
Yeah. So
are we
it's very
trapped
possible,
in an endless
like
loop?
DLC update, something like that, where Amanda's story gets complete. But I do think there is going to be another game where Hamlin is still present.
What if the game doesn't get complete, but we complete the story through the other games? Just like how we learned about the other girls in the tapes, what if the next game also had tapes, and we get information about the original, and there's slowly bits and pieces for the original,
like through some of the hidden tapes, we figure out the missing pieces for this game.
What if the next show is in the post 2000s, right? Like it's 2005, right? And it's around that time frame. But then we have hidden tapes with dates that lead back to the original because it all started with Amanda. What if that's how they continue it?
I mean, I could very much see that. I think.
Also, time is weird. One, it's a loop, right? Like, it's clearly a loop type thing. But it's also, when we use... Which one was it? Was it the family one, right? With the different warning labels? There were very different times, and one of them times seemed as if it's just showing you that all the time was irrelevant. But what if it's not? What if the time is important? What if that's the future?
I mean, I still think those numbers are entirely plausibly, like... Something that you can use. Like, I don't know
whether that be time or whether that be a code.
Yeah, I
do think all the time means something. Because there was a whole time puzzle. If we're going to have a time puzzle, we're going to have to look at time a little differently when we see it in different places, right? Like, we're not just going to be able to throw all time out the door.
Like an escape room, if you haven't used it yet, it's still very plausibly a clue for a puzzle.
Yeah.
So I think it's worth holding on to as something that might come into play later.
But time, because it was all over the place. There were some around that time. There were some before it. So we don't really have a full, with everything that happened in the tapes and everything, we don't really have a full timeline.
Yeah.
But I very much do see that if we get another game, if it's in the future, we do it in the past. Because that makes like the most sense to me versus having a different, if they're trying to make it in the real world or something like real world connections apart from like this like our world.
Yeah.
I feel like the best way to do that versus having another small fake town would be in the future. Like Amanda grew up in that town and it's a small thing, but maybe now there's a national show and that's the next one, something like that.
You know, I just had a thought. You know the tape where she goes and says like 3 chairs or how many chairs, how many lights, like all that? Who did that? Because I don't think that was Amanda speaking there. I think, why would Amanda give us clues on how to stop herself? I don't think that was Amanda. So who set up that tape to do that?
Okay, so maybe it's not Amanda, but what if it's Rebecca?
Ah, yes, the 5-year-old child.
I mean, she's...
Look. Who knows?
Who knows?
I don't know. I was more so getting at, what if it was Wooly? What if Wooly is somehow, like, he obviously has some level of control, because there was that one moment where he's like, look, I don't have much time, meaning he managed to get himself some time to speak on the recording, and Amanda was not able to wipe that. Meaning he has some level of power, so it's not out of the picture to say on a completely different tape he manipulated what she already did to get a message across to you.
So we know... So you said Wooly is related to Amanda.
Mm-hmm.
Or is Wooly related to Rebecca? Because if it's related to Amanda, what if it's not like an actual like brother, like same parents or something like that? What if it's like a acting brother? But in the show, it's like the code, and it came alive knowing that it's bad. And became self-conscious to save other kids from being trapped in the code.
Because things just come self-conscious.
I mean, we are talking about VHS tapes that lead into outcomes in the real world through cutting off a doll's head.
But, like, cause and effect. It doesn't just, like, become sentient. It needs to have some form of cause.
But I'm saying it becomes sentient after something happened with Amanda. So what if the demons affected Amanda, right? One of the 72 demons or something like that. But then what if there's a good demon or something like that? Or what if it's an angel that then helped Wooly or became Wooly? You see what I'm saying, though?
Yeah.
Like because Amanda had to become evil somehow. Mm-hmm. And I think wherever we do that, it's the opposite or through the same means that brought Wooly to life.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I can think of. Because again, I think we really need to know who Amanda is. Because obviously Rebecca, but I feel like it's more than that.
Mm-hmm.
It's some demon, it's some third party that's doing something.
Yeah, I could see that.
But hey, that's just
a theory.
A film theory? Because it's a show?
Or a game theory, because it's a game.
You never know.
Maybe it's a food theory. Because they make pies.
It's a food theory. We do make pies.
And
some
Wooly
very
is
gross
food.
Pies. It's like Chopper from One Piece, the emergency food.
Like Paimon from,
the Book of Demons.
No, I was gonna say Genshin Impact, but sure.
Wait, Genshin Impact even more?
Hey yo!
We just unraveled a whole bunch of other hidden lore. Oh my gosh. Anyway, what other lore do? So we kind of touched on the real world example because we saw multiple like home videos, especially the one where the girl was watching Amanda the Adventurer, but then Amanda also was connected to the real world because she's like, "Oh, mint chocolate chip, my favorite."
Mm-hmm.
Sounds also really suspicious.
Yeah.
So there's obviously something more happening than just in the attic, right? Like that's where we kind of see it happening for a long time and to multiple people, especially with the old demos, right? Like the Game Jolt version. I'm guessing that's an older version, right? Maybe that's one reason why they look different, because it is an older version. That's the original. And then now is like 5 years in the future. It looks better, thing like that. Who knows?
Honestly,
Do you know?
who knows? It's pretty unclear, not gonna lie.
What other lore parts are there? We talked a little bit about Sam and his disappearance.
Yeah.
Do you remember the Pied Piper? I'm trying to remember. I don't remember it fully. Do you want to like explain a little bit of that and like some of the similarities to Amanda the Adventurer?
I don't actually know how many there are.
Not all of them, but I'm saying like Pied Piper and like Matt's like connection.
Yeah, Pied Piper variates between like where, like who tells it, and like there's a bunch of different versions of the story, usually depending on like religion and whatnot. They'll tell it differently. But the main one is this man comes into the village and says he will... I'm gonna get this so wrong. I should probably look this up just to be sure.
Should we just pause it and come back when you look at it?
No, you talk.
I don't know what to talk about. That's why I wanted you to talk.
Talk about your personal life.
My personal life, it's a life. You know, I can take this moment to let you all know we will be switching up for the summer. I'm going away to summer camp, so I'm not gonna be able to do weekly episodes. So JJ over here, my co-host, he's planning on going through some of the older episodes and redoing them. He's gonna like add the music to them, like the first ones, maybe put it through the enhancer. But when summer's over, we'll go back to our regularly scheduled live shows on Friday, uploaded on Saturday, with new content. And we will try to do 1 or 2 episodes, especially if something major happens. I'm gonna be trying to figure something out to do some kind of stuff over the summer. But who knows? We'll see.
Okay. I found it. So the story of the Pied Piper is this Piper comes into the town, and this town has a rat problem. He promises the mayor that he can get rid of the rats, and so he does. He deals with the rat problem, and then the mayor refuses to pay him. And so the Piper then vows to take revenge, and he starts playing his pipe and attracted all the children, and the children followed him out of the town into a cave, and then were never seen again.
Dun, dun, dun.
So yeah, that was...
So obviously that sounds very similar to a certain show that we know of. So then, do we think the Piper is Sam, or is Piper the studio?
See, I want... Hamlin. I want to say it's Sam. I have a hunch that it's Sam, because obviously Sam comes in wanting to make a show for kids, having good intentions, and then they try and change what he was wanting to do, and so he gets mad and wants to do something about it. Honestly, what if...
But then I don't see Sam trying to take children because his show got corrupted. He doesn't, instead of, if someone who's making a show trying to educate children for his child that he adopted, I don't see them turning that evil. I see him trying to do something good and that getting corrupted and them trying to take children from him, kind of thing. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? I'm not saying you're wrong. It just doesn't seem, from what we know about Sam and his character, it doesn't seem like he'd be the bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
Whether he was betrayed or not. He just doesn't seem like he'd go to the level of adopting children into a television show.
Mm-hmm. See, I'm wondering, those demons come from, like, a certain mythology, probably not the right word there, but they come from a certain, like, thinking of how that all works, and I'm wondering if there's a version of the Pied Piper story that also comes from that, like, religion or whatnot, that has a different ending.
Roles a little bit or something like that.
Yeah, which that could help clear things up. Like, if we find the right version to match this story, there might be more parallels there.
Is authored by Grimoire on demonology. So let's look at Grimoire and see if he made a version, or Grimoire. It's a type of book. It's a book of magic. I'm not gonna go down a rabbit hole. I ain't doing this right now. This is about to get to a whole other rabbit trail.
Oh boy.
This is gonna take a hot minute to research. I'm gonna have to look into this whole other, like, mythology and do all this research on that to see if there's an author in that mythology that wrote a version of Pied Piper, and then find that version and read that. Maybe that's in a different language. I don't know.
Pied Piper from Grimm Tales by Great Grimoire.
Wow.
Oh wait, that's an Etsy figure.
Oh, okay. I was about to say. You better not have found it like that.
Oh, gosh.
But I think that is a great possibility.
Yeah.
And that also would explain why in the world they want to make a connection to the books of demons.
Yeah, it kind of would.
If that's why, like, we're trying to go into this specific demonology, the Book of Solomon, and that author or something like with that whole realm has a version of the Pied Piper which kind of explains the whole story, that explains it. But then here's my question. Did the maker of the game freaking read that for fun and be like, I'm gonna make a game on this?
I don't even know.
He needs help.
Like, what convinces a person to be like, you know what my game needs? Demon lore. I'm gonna look up all these different demons and try and connect that to my story, because you know what?
My story of corrupt commercials and children's entertainment and video analog horror.
Yes, that it needs more demon in that statement right there. It makes so much sense.
But hey,
that's just a podcast.
theory.
Oh wait.
Oh. Let's do that over again.
Okay.
But hey,
That's just a podcast.
Dang it, JJ, I was hoping you were gonna say theory and I was gonna do podcast and that'd be funny.
No, that would not be funny.
But anyway, do we want to research this ourselves, or are we just gonna let the internet do
Honestly,
it for us?
this is where I say on Spotify we have a comment section. You can't add like massive comments, but if you have findings, let us know, and we can.
And we're tag game theory or film theory in it.
Or
maybe he can do a whole different.
or tag us on our social medias at Nerd Rant Podcast on Spotify and Twitter.
It's a good transition.
Yep. I was setting that up so well, and you just whoosh. I'm like,
guys. Normally I have like fans on in my room because it's really hot, and I have it all off for the recording software, and I'm literally sweating bullets right now.
you're just delirious right now.
I am. It's all this demon lore.
But yeah, tag
with my
us on
brain.
Instagram and Twitter at Nerd Rant Podcast if you have any findings or anything to add to this. I will try and respond. I don't know if Seth will respond. I'll consult him before responding. But yeah.
And with that, we'll catch you on the next theory or podcast. Depends on which one we're doing next.
Bye.